So in this segment, I'm not sure what we're going to title it. It's probably something on the lines of Brexiteers can't name benefits and are still learning about the EU. So we've got a few video clips to watch, and these are very painful, very, very painful to watch. This one's with Isabel Oakeshott, which, you know, she's an ardent Brexiteer who she was surprisingly against the UK-Australia deal. But, you know, she does tout it as a good thing in this video, so very odd, because she wrote an article saying that she was at odds kind of with the UK-Australia deal because of the farming, because of the issues it would create around farming. But yeah, let's just watch this video. This is funny, because she can't actually name any Brexit benefits.
Happy referendum day.
Oh,
5 years. Can you believe it?
Beautiful years, hasn't it been?
Chaos, misery.
Yeah, and we still can't work out what to do over Northern Ireland. But apparently this was the... he said it was an oven-ready deal, so we'd assumed all of that had been ironed out. We know that Liam Fox had said, you know, this was going to be the easiest deal in human history. Those darned chilled meats and sausages.
I think I'm on tricky ground here, because I'm pretty sure someone will find some quotes of me saying it's all going to be quite straightforward. Look, of course, it's been more complicated. The Northern Ireland...
Who'd have thought it?
Who would have thought that? You know, I thought it's just Ramonas and, you know, people who didn't believe hard enough. You know, I thought they were the problem. But nah, we found out Project Fear was Project Reality, and you look very stupid now, don't you? Because you're on live TV, or you were on live TV, getting called out by a bunch of people, and it's very, very painful, because this doesn't always happen to these people. They can generally find their way to spin out of it. Isabel Oakeshott she did appear a lot on Question Time where the audience would back her. She doesn't have that now. Now she's feeling the pinch a bit if we carry on watching the video.
Who would have thought?
That said, there's been some real upsides. I think we've got to agree on the vaccine front. Actually, Brexit has said...
You know, the regulator did say that nothing to do with Brexit, and we were still a member within the EU whilst that was happening, whilst the whole vaccine regulation thing was happening, when it was authorised in the UK. So wrong.
I'm
not sure how that links to Brexit, really, because the country has an option to do that. You can, even within the EU, you could have opted out and done your own vaccine programme. So that's not really...
How did I know you'd find a downside?
So, you know, you've called me out here. You know, you've pointed out the fact that I have lied to you. You know, I have misled you and said that, you know, what I have said wasn't factual, and now that's seen as a downside because she's been fact-checked. That's embarrassing. Honestly, it's so stupid. She's been called out, and she's, oh, you know, I knew you'd find a downside in what I said. You know, that's not... He didn't offer a criticism. He offered a fact-check, you know, a live one, and you can't handle it.
You can't keep on saying that when somebody brings something that you're opposed to.
£350 million a week.
Yeah, where's it at?
Saw it on the bus.
It hasn't been perfect, has it? And I think there's been a...
That's not what you guys said. I appreciate the fact that the whoever was producing the show managed to throw up a shot at this. That's phenomenal stuff here. And the thing is, right, they said it would be all easiest trade deal, blah, 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 over a cup of tea, whatever, with Brussels or in, you know, Berlin or whatever. That's where David Davies was originally going to go. So, you know, this is ridiculous from her. She just, so painful.
Big sellout on fisheries, and there's a lot of disappointment, but there's still...
Big sellout. If we didn't agree to the fishing policies, they would have stuck tariffs on us. Like, are you stupid? Like, what? Have you been reading your own propaganda a bit too much? We would have got stuck with loads of tariffs. We probably wouldn't have got the TCA if we didn't concede on fishing.
There's still lots... Look, we've got our Australia trade deal. Wow.
A deal that she wasn't actually that happy with.
Positive gloss on it.
1/2000th of what we're expected to lose.
Perhaps if we hadn't spent 4 years arguing about it, Kevin, we might be a bit further forward.
So yeah, blame Remainers. You know, if the Remainers weren't arguing so much, then maybe we would be doing a lot better. Okay, all right, sick one. You know, even though you said there'll be no downsides and all that stuff, you know, we got some from Lord Frost. This is hilarious. He's about to learn how it's different from negotiating as a bloc to negotiating as a third party. This is brilliant.
One interesting question. I could probably give.
So they asked him. He was asked, what has he learned about the EU?
A more interesting answer if I had time to sort of think about this. I think. I mean, a couple of propositions, I suppose. I think there are, I mean, it's different negotiating as a member state to negotiating with the EU as a third party. That's very clear. And I think one of the problems perhaps with the process before this government took over was that we hadn't fully internalised that difference.
Sorry.
So yeah, they didn't fully understand. They didn't fully internalise how it's different to being an EU member to being a third country. That's shocking. That's shocking right here. They didn't figure out until probably to the end that, you know, we're not a superpower. You know, we can't bully other countries. We're not that guy anymore. And it took them to the end. And now we got one more thing. Let's see. We'll save this one. So this is, you know, from Lisa O'Carroll and the doc, Dr. Anna Jewazeska. Lisa O'Carroll saying that, it is not the case the British government underestimated what sort of impact. Is it not the case that the British government underestimated what sort of impact Northern Ireland would have on trade? Frost saying, I don't see what's wrong with learning from experience. This is a very unusual agreement and we have learned a lot about how economic actors behave. Like, bro, you're not reading a history book. You know, this is not the teacher at the end of class saying, what did you learn in class today? You're chief negotiator. Like, you should have figured this stuff out. You should have knew a lot about this stuff from the jump. Like, that's embarrassing right there, saying that, now we've learned a lot about how the EU works. Like, bro, we already knew how the EU worked. If not, you should not have been chief negotiator, pal. And this guy learning on the job. You know, that's fine if you're a junior negotiator. Not when you're a chief negotiator. That's just, no, you're not there for a training exercise. You're paid the big bucks because you're meant to be chief negotiator. You're meant to know what you're doing. You're meant to be able to get the best deal for Britain. You have failed so badly. It's unreal how bad Lord Frost has done, and the doc saying that there's absolutely nothing wrong with learning on the job from experience, but this was an incredibly tricky and unusual situation. Listening to stakeholders and experts would have given the government a bit of a heads up, which is true. You know, surely if you're listening to people and you're trying to figure things out, you know, you're the new guy on the block or whatever, you're going to be talking to experts. You're going to be talking to, you know, the powers that be, the people that know what's going on, who understand the impact of your actions. But you didn't, did you? You just went ahead with it and you didn't know what you were doing. You had no idea what you were doing. And the simple fact is it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing he's using these arguments. So I guess the title will be Brexiteers fail to name Brexit successes and learn about, you know, our learning about the EU. Something stupid like that. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. You know, like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you next time.